Deborah Cedillo-Dugan. We are on a very busy corner at 50th Street in Washington. Light rail just passed us by, and we're right here by the Ability 360 Center, and there's some great news. I'm here with Albert Santana. What is the great news?
So the great news is that we're going to get started on building another light rail station right here at 50th Street in Washington. We have great stakeholders in the area, Ability 360 and several others, and we couldn't be more excited. This was one of the first projects that we're able to deliver after our residents of Phoenix passed Phoenix Transportation 2050, which allows us to have lots of resources to bring something like the 50th Street Station, which just helps to improve our stakeholders being able to access our light rail system. So this was something that they made a priority when we were looking for passing the measure, and we're happy that we can deliver on our promises.
Okay, so Transit 2050, big news, because we got some major money to build out light rail.
Absolutely.
So why here, 50th Street in Washington? We mentioned Ability 360, very important partner stakeholder in our community.
So when we first built the 20 miles, we had several stops along that extension, but this is one area where we had about a 2-mile gap where we did not have a station. And at the time when we opened, we didn't have many of these businesses here. And since light rail begun, we had lots of development and lots of improvements. And as a result of that, these stakeholders came to us in a very proactive way. They worked collaboratively with us, they were friendly, and said, is there a way that we could work with you to add a station here if funding became available? And at the same time, we were looking at passing a measure to support transit, and thankfully we were able to bring the two things together, and here we are today and getting ready to open up another station for all the people to access this area.
That's right, and just around the corner in June. And I want to talk a little bit about Ability 360, the center. I mean, it provides a lot of resources, services for a very important part of our community, the disabled community.
Absolutely. So Ability 360 is absolutely not only for this community, but it's actually the statewide headquarters for individuals with disabilities. So physical disabilities, children with autism, but they also have a disability empowerment center, which is a fully accessible swimming pool, basketball court, gymnasium. So thousands of stakeholders come here, and many of which use light rail for many other uses. And so that really initiated the conversation like, hey, how great would it be if we were able to get light rail to get to and from here on a daily basis, and also when you have special events. So it was a win-win for everyone, and we're just happy that we have the ability to bring something to Ability 360 like the 50th Street Station.
Now, we just talked a little bit about the groundbreaking that's happening just right around the corner in early June. So let's talk about the design and the architect and actually the campaign and how that's got kicked off.
You know, when we started working on this, we knew this was going to be a special station. And so, working with the design team and the architects, we wanted to make sure that we maximize the accessibility between moving from the sidewalk where we are now and as you move across the street and actually access the station. So what we were able to do is work with the community, work with our design team, and what we're doing is we're actually going to bring the road and the sidewalk to the same grade, which makes a very easy transition for people of all mobilities to move from the side of the sidewalk, approach the street, and then get onto the station. And then we also found a way to make the station platform even wider, so that way individuals that are in wheelchairs will be able to pass each other and be able to access the train. So those are just some features. And then of course, the community always talks about shade. We live in Phoenix, Arizona,
yes, we do.
So we are definitely going to be adding lots of shade components, both in the art at the station, as well in the trees that will be adjacent to the sidewalk. So some really cool, unique things that we did here, but rightfully so, because this is a very special location for us.
Yeah, those are really top-notch features too, and I know there's some extra special features too that you're adopting here that may not be at all the stations, especially for the visually impaired.
Yeah, and so a lot of it is making sure that our ticket vending machines and making sure that we have the ability for people that are visually impaired or physically impaired to be able to, again, access the station, be able to purchase tickets. And so those are a lot of the really unique things that we want to do here, but also things that we can hopefully carry as we expand the system as well to other stations throughout the greater Phoenix area.
How many stations do we have now?
Right now we have 35 stations along a 26-mile corridor, and so soon we'll be happily add our newest and best station, 36th station here at 50th Street.
Oh, so exciting. So thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for City Update. I'm Deborah Cedillo-Dugan. If you'd like more information about light rail or anything going on with transit, go to phoenix.gov/transit.